Everybody, welcome back to another monthly reading. It has been too long. The last time I was on here doing a monthly reading, it was for September, and then I skipped October very purposefully because I really needed some time out. I had a lot of things to close out, pretty much literally boarding things up, giving things away, all sorts of stuff, even taking a trip slash travel to close everything out from a long time ago. So very, very much needed. And if you follow this channel, thank you so much. Then maybe you remember me saying that I actually have a 29th degree Capricorn placement for my ascendant. So right now, Saturn is doing its thing. It's retrograding. It has gone back into Capricorn after having moved from Capricorn over the 29th into Aquarius, then going back over the 29th, back into Capricorn. And it's going to go back again over the 29th. So basically, long story short, everything that has to do with very Saturnian things, and I have a very Saturnian chart. Oh my God. Anyway, clearing things up, getting affairs in order, all of that I've been really focusing on for pretty much this whole year. And it's been a pleasure. And I feel a lot better. But that being said, one of the things that I would love to start segueing back into is really building back up on doing my stuff, doing my readings, doing the not so much 3D stuff. So thank you so much for coming back for September, oh my God. Welcome back for November 2024. I'm very eager to see what the energies are coming through as for this month. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. Now, also, what we're going to do today is after I say hi again, hi and welcome back. We're going to start off really quickly with a nice energy clearing, grounding, and whatnot. It's always nice to start with that. And by the way, my computer is right there. So if you see me looking off randomly, it's over here. And you guys are gently over here, but we're all together in the same space. So after we do the energy clearing, we'll check in with what the cards have to say and any messages that want to come through channeled. And then bada bing, bada boom. Well, the card's already trying to, okay, talk. Let me push these off to the side for a second. I pushed the cards off to the side and there's this one card that's left. Interesting. Okay, so let's keep that off to the side. So let's go ahead. Let's take a moment, get a little grounded. And I've already called in some energies, but I'll go ahead and call them in again. And as I'm touching your field collectively, I'm feeling throat chakra stuff, some heart stuff, also some solar stuff, almost like palpitations in that area. So whatever it is that's going on for you guys, and I'm also getting a very aquarium energy. I had to say that for some reason. Maybe that's for somebody here. But whatever it is, we're going to go ahead and do as much clearing as we can. As a collective, of course, you're always welcome to reach out to me for an intuitive counseling session where we can clear together, but just for you. All right, so here we go. I'm going to start at the top. Interesting. So in the top area, as I'm feeling, it's almost like needing to see, I was like pull back something, but it's almost like it needs to be pulled this way. So there's some work that needs to be done, energetically speaking, in the cranial area for at least some of you. Oh, surprise, right? Now, I want to remind you, always be in your place of empowerment. Anytime you have the feeling that you need work done on your energetic vessel, which is much larger and more, in instructive in how your physical body goes than what's actually happening in your physical body. Because as you understand by now, if you watch this channel, the physical body is just a carbon copy. So it's really in your energetic anatomy, different levels of it, where all of these things are happening, and then leading to a carbon copy that is now your physical condition, right? And also your physical reality, but that's a whole different story. Now, to empower you, remember that even though you can go to your friendly local technicians, your healers and your energy workers and your intuitive counselors and hi, right? Please always know that you have it within yourself to introduce healing and change for yourself. We understand that healing at its very core is just a change in perception. Thoughts are things. And as they move down in dimension to this physical space, they become things. But really, when we're talking about things and we're holding things, we're actually just interacting with concepts or beliefs. And so that being said, anytime like I just told you, hey, I'm picking up some energy in the cranial area that needs some work. Yeah, I'm still feeling it. It's like, I want you to realize that you can start by getting quiet and sitting and kind of asking your spirit team who have, who are filled with medical professionals, by the way, to help you, your higher self to assist you. And some of you are very, very skilled in doing this for yourself as well. You can also engage in some physical practices that help you reach places where you can have these healings occur, of course, depending on what level of field it is, such as journaling, other are psychosomatic practices, or just whatever it is that you feel drawn to. Yes, also natural therapy, all of that, homeopathy, all of that stuff. If you're thinking box flower essences, yes, that works too. On the emotional body, you're not going to drop box flower essences into a gash you just got into the physical body. Obviously, it's not going to work. Right. So you just be adding alcohol to the wound, which I guess, that's a little something. But so yeah, so you're very much empowered to do some things. Now, I'm in the cranial energy here, and I'm seeing a mystery box. It's like a box that has all these questions on it. And so I'm just pointing that out, and it's interesting the way that information is coming through. Maybe I have to say it in a certain way for some of you, to kind of get an idea or to be triggered. So there's that. Also, I'm getting in the neck area. We're going to do a little relief work. I'm getting a little bit of a cooling sensation here in the neck area. So I'm getting that some of you here, at least one of you, I have to be honest, is having some type of inflammation there. And what it reads as, it could simply be the effects of acid reflux, for example, right? So I'm getting that there. It's all present in your energetic anatomy. Looking at the back of you guys energetically, I'm just dusting off some, I'm just going to say energy, but what it feels like, if we want to relate it to something in the physical, feels like dust and debris. But what we're just going to do is we're going to dust off that energy. The way I said it, dust it off. It's like clearing it right there. And I don't know if somebody just like coughed or something, but it's like, imagine a rounded back just really needing to get that beating here in the back of the heart. Now, it's interesting that as I'm beating here, it's almost like training your heart chakra how to beat again. Now, when we're talking about how to beat again, we're talking about how to love again, right? Lots of It's interesting because I'm picking up a lot of cleanliness here in the field, but also like shaking all of this dust off. So same here. So if you're watching, feel free, if you want to join in, and especially if you feel the need, go ahead and shake, 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 especially around the solar plexus area. I feel like I want to just grab someone's rib cage right here and just be like, and shake it to shake out the energies. Now, some of you may want to do it for the rest of your field as well, moving down, 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 down. I'm getting that if this is for you, you'll know you'll be directed to it, whether with me or someone else. But I feel that somebody needs to have some energetic work done around the lower part of their body, maybe around the ankles and calves. But that's the region, but it could be on one of the levels of the field. It feels like this has to have some type of energetic surgery. A surgical procedure, right? Because I'm seeing suturing needing to go on there. So yeah, so go ahead, and we're just going to blow out a lot of that stuff out of the field. Right? And don't leave it here in my room. Right? So thank you, angels, guides, for receiving. Thank you for clearing that. Now, what we're going to do now for everybody is we're going to draw in some light. So remember, I'm drawing in light. I'm calling forth light for us to come through and penetrate all of the levels of the field, all the way down. Don't forget to include the physical body. So if you'd like to add some visual to this, go ahead and remember, remember go ahead and visualize all of this energy even flowing through your capillaries, right? Your veins, your arteries, all of that, all and moving throughout your body like osmosis. It just goes throughout the whole thing. It just penetrates. So as we move all of that energy in, um, paying special attention to the pelvic area around the root and the sacral. Yeah, there needs to be some root work here for some of you. So here's the great news. Well, it's all great news because once something is brought to our attention, we can just work on it, right? But the great news is, hey, this one that I'm picking up, especially in the yeah, the root area, simply stated, some yoga would be good. Some very grounding yoga, maybe yogic poses that relate to that base chakra, right? So we're talking about firming, especially on the left side of the body, okay? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pull you guys down on the right side of the body too. We might have to do some alignment work. Oh, that was quick. Thank you. And thank you so much. And if there are any other energies that need to come through for the viewers here as they are viewing, of course, especially from their spirit teams, let that be the case. I see us taking off our little scrubs, scrubble energies. So I think we're good there. Now, one of the messages that is coming through for you guys, I keep forgetting the camera's over here. One of the messages that is coming through is that if you have been experiencing issues with expressing yourself, and of course, we can talk about this in terms of connecting with other people. Oh, I don't know what to say. Oh, I was tongue-tied. Yeah, like, see, that's an example. That was so much. Tongue-tied, whatever that is. Cat's got your tongue, frog in your throat, all of that. That's part of it, but also I'm seeing a little bit for somebody here. This could be creatively. So maybe you've been feeling creatively blocked. Maybe it's almost like, let me give you a quick analogy. Like if you're an artist, for example, and usually if you take a beautiful, oh, my favorite color is cerulean blue, I'm just going to call that out. Beautiful cerulean blue color, whatever medium, let's say crayon, and you just, or paint, you do, or yeah, no, what does it matter? Crayon and you just draw a line. Oh, it's so beautiful, right? Boom, that's it. So let's say that's what you normally can do, and maybe you just been like instead. So I see that you're getting more clear. Okay. So if that's for you, I would say because I feel like that's also a message coming through for me too. God, it's been so crazy here, but I'm picking up that it's for some of you as well. If that's for you, all you can do is just to keep clearing in that throat chakra area, making sure you're getting the grounding. Yeah, because as I'm feeling lower, it's like I want to make sure that we're all a little bit grounded, especially on the right side. So continue to do your alignment work. I will be doing the same thing as well. Now, I'm also picking up that a lot of this need for realignment has a lot to do with what's going on energetically, just as a collective. Now, because I've just been so focused on whatever is going on my end, I haven't really been keeping up with what's in the astrology community, like, hey, what's happening? But I experienced the shift, right? So the same with you guys, even if you may not have been keeping up with, oh, what full moon is here, what eclipse is this, or what's actually hitting my natal chart that I may or may not be aware of, that may or may not even be being covered online or anywhere in public. You don't have to be aware of those things to still be experiencing them. So always remember that since we are a part of a larger collective and larger community, we are still experiencing the effects of all of that. So that being said, it's always just a good practice to, no matter what you're experiencing, remember the saying, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. And I guess a good way to really move through any times that feel a little bit shaky or where you're unsure is just to get as grounded as possible and to really, I really am a fan of cognitive-based therapy. So using cognitive tools. So you can go online for many cognitive tools to help you get in the present moment, many cognitive tools to help you to decompress, to bring you back to center. So there are a lot of things you can do. So that's just information coming out for some of you. Now, I'm being told to let you guys know that if you've been experiencing issues in terms of your creativity, like we were just talking about, your personal expression, I'm getting for some of you this is fashion. So some of you may, whoever this is for, it seems almost specific, but I mean, maybe other people are into fashion too, but maybe you've been feeling like, oh, frump. Like if you're saying, oh, I feel so frumpy, and usually you're usually so they're saying spectacle. Maybe you're used to being a spectacle, not in a negative way, but because you ornate yourself. Maybe you tend to dress up and all sorts of stuff. And then lately you're just like, I'm just not even feeling it. Nothing looks good on me. Whatever. That is an example of having a little bit of a stymied expression. So all of that is just on its way out. If you can do your best to stay grounded and really push through is what I'm getting. Because as we mentioned, we're going through a cycle. Just stage it. We're just going through stages. And interestingly, guys, remember, we're also moving into the winter soon, right? Well, officially it's November 1st. So officially it's the holiday season now, according to marketing. So just think about yourself as moving into the winter. And usually around November is when it really comes time to really start gearing up for that hibernation period. So just be mindful. Now, something you guys didn't see earlier because the camera was off, but when I got these cards, I started the deck. I just put them down and I noticed the King of Pentacles was facing this way. So usually the King of Pentacles is looking at us, right? In this case, he's looking away from us. And I was like, what does that mean? Anyway, and here it is. The first card I'm pulling is the King of Pentacles, but this time looking towards us. Okay. So towards you. So let's take a look at this situation. Interestingly, we're jumping into the cards. I just literally pulled the King of Wands. So interestingly, let's take a look. Now, the message coming through here has to do with the material. So it has to do with the financial. It has to do with structure because we have the King of Pentacles. Now, one of the ways that this King of Pentacles is manifesting for at least one of you in the collective, because it's a collective reading, I'm picking up on your energies, right? But of course, the realm of a personal reading is where you will know how it applies to you in the physical. But one of the ways that I'm seeing it applying here is in terms of career. I heard love and career. So yeah, I'm being told that for those of you who are thinking love and career, you're going to have to make a choice between love or career at this time. Now, I know people are like, oh, what do you mean I have to make a choice? I can do it all. Da, da, da. But just think of it this way. Sometimes the level of effort that is required to accomplish something requires a level of concentration and focus that really just is best served when you are focusing on that thing alone to the exclusion of something else that usually requires a lot of bandwidth, so to speak. So in this case, if this message is for you, you're definitely being advised. Sorry, I'm hearing so many other stuff. You're definitely being advised to park when it comes to the romance stuff for right now. Now it's interesting because in the back, this is the back of the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles, as I was saying, you can't do both basically. I saw this person trying to do the romance so much, and look what this was here, the snake. Now the snake representing in this case, I heard donations. Interesting. But okay. Oddly specific for whom, I don't know. Um, but it was representing romance. All right. Now, the reason why, again, is because you cannot serve two masters at this time. And you're going to have to make a decision. Now, let's look at the way the energies are flowing right now. Let's say that you take that advice and you decide to park any romantic endeavors and all of that stuff so that you can focus on your career, right? I'm focusing on my career right now. It's one of those things, right? The for reals reels. Now, if you were to do that, I'm seeing that you would be blessedly this King of Pentacles. But what I'm noticing here is this King of Pentacles looks very, very stationary. So the idea is, are we gonna get moving? What are we doing? And that's where the King of Wands came in, because when I said, oh my God, I pulled the King of Wands and I put it down, it fell right on top, replacing the King of Pentacles. So what is actually being called for at this time is forward movement that is concentrated, concentrated, focused, not just because some great pair of legs or some really hot guy comes up and says, hey, now you're off your path. This is about staying focused and putting the effort in and being very, very concentrated in your movement. Now, when we have those elements together, it's almost like the energy I feel is like this. When we have those elements together and we can just go boom, it's like I'm just seeing like pool, if you line it up with pool and then you boom, then it's off. Or even drawing back the bow. In both of those cases, you have to position yourself and then you hit it. And that's what's going to give you the momentum, is what we're saying, the momentum. Because another thing I'm picking up here is it's not like last year, if you're watching last year around November, thank you very much for watching, by the way, then maybe you remember me talking about how the energies for last year going into like November, December was all about preparing for a very I want to say cloistered, a very secluded kind of like, think of home hearth kind of, it's snowing and blizzarding outside kind of energy, but what we're doing now is preparing for the winter so that we can get everything up and running and so that we can have what we need during this winter to stay warm and to eat and all of that. That was last year. This year, what I'm getting moving into the winter is decidedly more activity. Now, yes, there's still an internal sense because it is the winter, things start going into a hibernatory energy, depending on where you are and whatnot, but it feels a little bit more active inside of that than before. So for example, as I'm picking up some of you kind of being in the home space, maybe slowing down a little bit with your outside activities, and even with some of your nocturnal activities outside the house, slowing down with that, I see you being more active in the house. So I'm seeing someone on a stationary bike, like kind of working out. Some of you could be even working on some creative pursuits. It's very much encouraged. Could be like writing, things like that. Now, the card that just fell out of the deck is the Six of Cups. Six of Cups, sorry, not Six of Cups, Six of Swords, moving forward. Interesting. Why did I say Six of Cups? Because I'm not, let's talk about this. Six of Cups, we know, is about nostalgia. It could be about soulmate energy, like a childhood friendy energy, kind of that. So if you end up being confronted, when I say confronted, not like, hey, you, but like confronted, like, oh, this energy is now in my path. If you end up encountering, let's put it this way, but energetically, the better word is confronted. But if you end up being confronted by somebody that you think of would consider an old friend or an old colleague or an old chum, is what I'm getting. This has a very like nostalgic kind of old kind of energy, like, oh, friend from high school, friend from the past, friend from whatever, old school buddy or whatever. I'm getting serve them well and keep it pushing is what I'm getting. Serve them well and keep it pushing. Here's on the back. It's got that keep it pushing energy. But here on the front, that explains why I said Six of Cups. Here on the front, she's carrying this cup. So there's a sense of this in yeah, it's almost like this meeting would have a mission oriented feeling, a mission related feeling. So it would have a purpose, but it's not an invitation to like open back up to everything, is what I'm getting. All right. And that's also interesting because these three cards were randomly sitting upon our two. I mean, because the cards are just falling off right here. So they were just like, so but I feel like collectively, boom, they come together, they move together. So let's take a look at what we have. We have the Ace of Cups at an angle, sitting atop the Five of Wands. I'm looking at the other side here. We know the Five of Wands is all about conflict, right? But here we see the Five of Wands. It's still a conflict stance, but what's missing is the turmoil here behind. So this is giving me vibes of somebody fighting their own shadows, right? So somebody coming in, fighting their own shadows, thinking that they are going through conflict with someone else, or for someone here, this yeah, has a lot. Yeah, this is a lot. I'm picking up. I don't want to get too much into the individual stuff. I want to stay at the collective level. But whatever this is, I'm getting at the end of the day, this energy, whatever this is, whether it's you or someone else, is showing up here as the King of Pentacles. No, hold on. This, interestingly, as I look at it now, yeah, this is the Knight of Pentacles, but it's carrying King energy here. Hmm. Okay. They're like, okay. The energy, duh. They're like, there's no other reason. We just needed two King cards. Okay, good. That makes sense. There it is. Right. So maybe this all has to do with this encounter here. Now, because we're feeling this energy as an encounter energy, and as I was saying, we were relating to it because I'm feeling into collective energy, it's showing up as a person. Remember, these are energetic dynamics. So depending on who you are, this could very well apply to a person in your life. It could that comes in, something that you're encountering along your way that comes in just for the time. It's like just for a season and it's out again. It's coming in with purpose. There's a purpose for this connection, and then that's it. Now, so it's not about staying longer and oh my God, my ex-boyfriend from high school came back in and now we're rolling deep again. No, no, don't do it. Out of high school 40 years and you're trying to get into something. No, this is not for you, right? But it could also be relating to like some type of activity or opportunity or some type of energy of the way you used to hang out, your social life, or something that is coming back around again in your path for whatever reason. Could simply be that you've started looking into old photographs or doing certain things, and or just which would be you dipping into some old energies of self, right? So of course, boink, into your physical life is going to pop up the manifestations of you engaging once again in that energy. Now, the question is, hey, how is this energy going to manifest for me? Is it going to manifest in the form of a person? Is it going to manifest in the form of an old habit that I'm having again? Is it going to manifest in the form of me finding old yearbooks and all sorts of stuff? So just remember that we're riding on the course of energy. Now, mastery understands that how energy manifests and appears in your life is going to be dependent upon, well, whatever's going on in your life. But it's just form, person, place, thing, situation, idea. That's it. But it's all formed on an energy. So this is why when we say that you like, oh, you're married to you've only married your self-doubt. You have married a person, for example, there's not all of you, but you've married a person that is a manifestation of your own self-doubt. So just so we know, when you're looking to get married and stuff, you want to make sure that for example, you want to make sure you're in the best space that you can be so that when people start manifesting around you to be your suitors and stuff, that you are engaging with those forms, the people, and the other forms, places, things, situations, ideas that are manifestations of that frequency that is in your goodness, not of the frequency that is masquerading as your goodness, but is actually your own self-doubt and your breadcrumbing and all the ways that you gaslight yourself. So this is how we understand simple concepts like your beliefs are structuring your reality. But your true discernment comes when you're able to really get a hold of what is motivating you. When you go to do certain things, what are you acting out of? What aspect of yourself are you acting out of? When you're engaging with things, what aspect of yourself are you engaging with? And it takes time, but speaking of, the next card is the victory card. Now, interestingly, let's take a look at the light side of this victory card here. The victory card here looks valiant, doesn't it? He's riding on home to people being, really lauding him, and he's feeling good. The energies look good. We've got him in the foreground. Everything's bright. This is the right side of history, so to speak, as if there ever is, right? Because history is determined by the viewer, but or those in power. But this looks great. The sun is out. But look at the other side of this. This is the vice versa tarot, by the way, if anyone's interested. It tends to show lighter and darker aspects of the same card. So here we have victory as well. But look at all of the destruction that has come. Look at the soldiers. They're like, yeah, but they're tired, they're bloody, they're yeah, and then we still have the victory, the symbol of victory here that to which they're all lauding, which is this triumphant person wearing the laurel wreaths and all of that, and his valiant horse who's got his cute little horsey clothes on, but we can't even see them. They're in the background. Let's look at them again. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, or and that's it. Right? So it's interesting because I saw this side come up. So let's take a closer look at what this is. Good, thank you. So if you find yourself in this energy this month, so to speak, I almost said this week, but this month, where you are experiencing a part of yourself, because this energy, like I was telling you, that you guys may be encountering this month at some point. Again, we talked about it appearing as a person. It need not be. I feel that, and even at the end of the day, even if it appears as a person for you, they would just be reflecting back to you an aspect of yourself, right? That is coming through to create its own reality in a more positive way, to kind of have its own healing step. Now, what I like here about this card that I'm seeing is, even though this looks like the person having victory after like stress and coming in wounds all over, this is a cause for success. This is a cause for victory because, wow, you're really taking care of things. You really made it into the office. Now, let's look at it this way. You guys know that sometimes, especially when it comes to having to hear not so good news about our health and whatnot, especially if you suspect something may be going on with your health. This is just an example. I'm not saying this is for this month or anything. Now, half the battle is about getting into the doctor's office to actually hear about it, right? So that's this. You made it. We are going to validate your parking, sir. Come on in. We've been waiting for you. You want a cup of coffee? We've got you. Come in. Like, you'll be taken very well care of. Very good care of. Good care of. Taken care of well. Anyway, you're gonna be really taken care of. And the lesson here is, and as I'm saying that, oh, I'm seeing, yeah, oh, look, him riding the horse, but the horse is looking sad. The lesson here is you made it. You're here. So stop looking at this whole thing as if it were a failure, so to speak, like, oh, my life is a failure. This is what I'm getting. And the minute I'm saying that, I'm already seeing this energy passing its way through. This is the six. Oh my God, look, I'm looking six. It's standing out there. It's the sign of Cancer, but this is the Chariot card. And when the Chariot card is coming through, it's coming through. But what I love about this card here, it showed up on this side. Sorry about the there we go. As it's showing up here, this energy has already passed through. So again, this is looking like an energy of yours, however it manifests, right? As coming in and needing the reinsurance, the reassurance that it deserves. And also, I wanted to say desires, but it deserves. Now, this is as simple as you reminding yourself about the journey that you've been on. This is not, Earth is not a kindergarten kind of place to learn in the universe, so to speak. It's classified as one of the tougher schools to learn because of all of the density, all of the stress. And once you're down here, you're kind of in it. You're in it till you're done, so to speak. So you really have to find a way to bolster yourself, to take good care of yourself. And sometimes you just have to learn to say, F it. I did the best I could. And also, might I just that's interesting. I was going to say something, but as you can tell, I'm kind of picking up on some other energies here. And I almost said, might I just pass out? So that's for somebody here that's oddly specific. And if that was for you, hey, hit me up. Come get a reading. Let's work through that. Um, but I was gonna say, might I just add that you know what? If you guys could see the energies of your past lifetimes, you would, and I've said this before on this channel, you would probably be a little bit more gracious to yourself for the efforts that you put out, and you would offer yourself, yeah, more grace and more compassion, and you would say thank you. You would be probably walking into the office feeling low about yourself and then walking out of the office feeling very, very happy with the progress that you've made. Interesting. See the card we got, the Wheel of Fortune. Now, I just saw my hand covering my finger covering the word fortune, and it was significant for some reason. Now, wheel is covered and fortune is yeah, fortune is being shown. The message that's coming through here is that sometimes to get to the fortune, you have to change your ways. Interesting. Interesante. Why? Now, that is pretty much like the saying, sometimes your new life is going to cost you your old life. Now, energetically speaking, that just makes a whole bunch of sense because sometimes if your old life is just at a certain frequency of energy, that energy may not be conducive to allowing for an alignment with the higher frequencies of energy that would actually bring you the joy that you seek. So, in order to really experience the joy that actually is your joy, that actually goes to you, for example, oh, wow, actually letting in someone who cares versus someone who's going to treat you like crap, right? If you have your wires crossed, your pain and pleasure, you come to associate pain with pleasure, you come to associate love with sex and all sorts of stuff. You're going to be on certain vibrations until you heal, change your perceptions, your mindset around certain things. And it's through that healing, you're shifting in perceptions that shifts your energetic frequency, that then shifts what it is that is attracted into your energetic sphere. Then, so basically, you're just shifting into a higher vibration by way of you shifting your mindset about certain things. So sometimes it can be very, very difficult for us to shift our mindset because we're holding on to certain very destructive patterns of behavior, patterns of thoughts, patterns of perceptions. We know a big one is victim consciousness, martyrdom consciousness, poverty consciousness. A lot of these things are lifetimes deep, lack of deservability, feeling like you don't belong, all of these things. This is what we have to work towards like shaking off, loosening up so that we can allow ourselves to shift and entertain higher frequencies of thought, right? And when you do that, then you will be able to have fortune. So this, in some case, is really like you have to let go. That's very, very specific coming through. You have to let go. Some of you, as I said that, I just felt myself going very out of breath for just one quick second. And so why they're saying, why I had that experience there is because they're showing that, yeah, it's like being thrown into the water, and you're like, whoa, you're going to flail for a second until you realize, oh, okay. Oh, I can swim. I can do this. I can tread water. I can go on my back. I can, right? So sometimes it's just the shock of being in a new environment, the shock of doing something new. Maybe if you used to party a lot, now you're trying to buckle down and have a 9 to 5 or something. You start with your 9 to 5, you're like, bump this. What is this? I hate this. This is not what I'm used to. And a lot of people can't really stay in that 9 to 5 then because now they're feeling bored and they're feeling restless and they're right? Because they're used to moving in a certain way over here. If you put them over here and they have to be like this, they're like, ants in my pants, until they realize, oh, I just have to make new movements. I have to put new things in motion. I have to get used to a new way of being, right? People who grow up in a concrete jungle and really don't get to experience the love of nature or whatnot, for example, you send them outdoors to hike or something, they're gonna be like, this is boring, this is lame, I want to take pictures, I want to, because they don't know how to be in that space and to see the magic of being in that space. It's boring to them. There's no stimulus for them. However, if they stay long enough and they start to engage with the environment and to experience the natural rhythms of that new environment, then they start to notice, oh, what was that overhead? That big shadow. And they look up, it's like a huge hawk. They're like, oh my God, what's that? Curiosity. And then they start to think, well, what else is around here? They start to see the ants. They start to see the different color leaves. They feel the breeze. Right? It's like needing to immerse yourself in a new environment, but they're saying you have to give yourself the chance to do that. So if this is for you, as you guys know, we're transitioning in many ways. And if this is for you, November is going to be a big month to transition. See, look at this. Speaking of transition, right? This is about a walking away from an old life. But interestingly, look at how it's shown as the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands, as you know, in the traditional tarot, is all about calling in something new. It's like setting a little bit of a spark there going on. But here it's giving us Eight of Cups walking away energy. But what we like about this is it's pretty much showcasing the same energy and message we just learned here. Your old life is going to cost you your new life is going to cost you your old one. You have to walk away from something that you used to be. This looks like an old persona, an old identity. You've got to walk away willingly and really just your willingness, it just needs to be enough to put distance between you and that other thing and that other aspect of you. So putting good habits in. Now, as you walk away, you're calling in what? The shift into another frequency. So this is all this energy. Look at the next card, the 10 of Swords, closing out an old cycle, which is already dead, BT dubs. This is why it's the 10 of Swords. This is dead as a doornail dead, right? In fact, new birth has already happened. So now you just have to step in it, keep the steps going. So this is why I was saying that victory card was a very good energy because it shows an arrival. It shows you're showing up to the doctor's office. Great job. Ding, checkpoint reached, and now you're on your way already. Right. So again, this was being presented to us in the form of a person. But if you do meet somebody like that in your life in the month of November, I want to let you know that that is just a manifestation of a little bit of a checkpoint that you yourself have had you have had in this lifetime for yourself. And so when you are congratulating that other person, or even if it's not a person, it's some things from the past that you noticed, and then you're like, oh, going down memory lane, and you're like, oh, that used to be me, blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff, just engaging with your own energy in a different form. And so therefore, when you're congratulating and making positive notices about that stuff, you're actually congratulating yourself and paying homage to the journey that you yourself have taken. That's pretty cool, right? Let's see. Yeah, I was gonna say, let's see what other energy. Now, it's interesting. The Justice card is coming out. Oh, I was gonna say, why is it tilting? And look what it's tilting onto. Boom. This side, the queen kind of side, not the beggary kind of side here. So again, this month of November is looking like some real progress. Yeah, some real progress has been made. We see the fortune card being shown. So if this message is for you this month, I do want you to know that while this month does not feel like it's filled with a lot of activity, because I'm not feeling a lot of activity, like, right? While it's not filled with a lot of activity, it is certainly filled with a moment of respect for you and for the journey that you've taken. And whether or not you're like, oh, I didn't meet anyone, or I don't think this is about me, or just whatever, this is a good moment to stop and still give yourself a pat on the back, to laud yourself, to tell yourself how much you love yourself, because really, a lot of people on this planet do not have others around them who are willing and or capable of acknowledging the actual progress that they've made, right? It's kind of like that saying that nobody really sees how much pain you're ever in. You could wax on poetically about it. You could cry, you can journal, you can write books, you can make movies, whatever, to move people to cry, but they'll never actually know the sensation and the depth of your own pain and your own efforts and things like that. That's something that your spirit team knows, because they're in another dimension. It's easy to just feel. And of course, God knows, right? And so if there's anyone on this planet who's in the best position to really give you the grace that you need, it's kind of you. It's you. Yay. So let's go ahead and give some little claps. I hope you're clapping. I don't hear you clapping. Make sure that you're clapping on the other side of this camera. Make sure you're tapping your back a little bit and just love yourself. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I think the messages are pretty clear and I'm kind of yeah, still coming out of my heavy emphasis on 3D stuff, like so heavy on the 3D stuff. And if you know me personally, and a lot of you guys, we DM and stuff, you guys know, I'm more of I'm usually in the higher, like spaces. I'm not so grounded all the time. So being so grounded, checks and balances and structure and building and coupons and all that stuff and insurance. And it's so, I, I don't hate it, especially since my chart is extremely Saturnian with all my placements, but it's just ugh. I'd rather be offloading and just vibing and just channeling and just anyway, right? So long story short, wherever you find yourself this month, give yourself a nice pat on the back. And I'm going to keep this short. Now, if you would like to have a personal reading with me, you know exactly where to find me. Go ahead and reach out. We all of us, see, we do intuitive counseling, and intuitive counseling is where we're just tapped into your energy. It's live via Zoom or Google Meet if that is better. And yeah, just we pretty much do everything, whatever it is that you need. But if you would prefer to have a distance healing session, that's recorded, but obviously you wouldn't be there because it's distance. Then I would send you a link of your video of me doing the healing and you can watch it. It's all based on your own energy as well. And if you prefer to have an intuitive card reading, then you can have that. We do intuitive card readings. They're an hour at a time. And so reach out to me on that for that. And lastly, we do our written readings, which, oh my God, take forever. But that being said, they're cheaply priced. And so if you enjoy having something more written and that's how you prefer to roll, you can reach out for that as well. Now, anything else? No, I don't think so. Okay. So go forth, conquer. And for the month of November, please, 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 please be good to yourself. Don't do anything rash. Don't go out there being crazy. November is not November 2024. Interesting. Why do I have to feel? I felt like I had to say the year. Maybe next November. I don't know. But November 2024 is not supposed to be a rushed month. It's not supposed to be all crazy and stuff. It's just a chill month. And so, if anything, use this month to get into good patterns of behavior so that you can complete your transition to these higher frequencies. And I just realized that I keep looking off to my laptop where there's another camera going on. I'm so sorry and whatever. You know exactly where to find me if you need me.